very important to also have tough conversations with your friends. I remember just like eagerly waiting for her to pay me back just because I didn't have enough money to like pay off my credit card after that. At the end of the day, like, you need to show up for yourself too. Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, welcome. My name is Christine. So today we are actually in the car. I am getting ready for an event in an hour and a half, and I thought it'd be fun to take you guys along with me. I'm wearing my glasses because I'm getting LASIK in 4 days. I have all my things to get ready in the car, and a lot of you guys had so many questions for me on my Instagram that you wanted me to answer. So we're going to talk all about money, budgeting, how to stay motivated, and we're also going to talk about toxic friends, curating a friend circle, and all of that good stuff. So I'm really excited to dive in. We're going to get ready together. Hopefully the lighting's not too unbalanced, but this is kind of different. I hope you guys enjoy. So let's go ahead and dive right in. I actually just had a facial with Tatcha and it was so relaxing. I almost fell asleep, but I'm like debating if I want to pop in my contacts for a few hours or if I should be good. Let's try to be good. I did a little question box on Instagram the other day and I had you guys ask me, you know, any topics that you want me to talk about. So I'm just gonna go straight from here and answer some of your questions. First question that I want to talk about is money / budgeting. I'm just gonna talk about, like, in general, these are the best budgeting tips that I've learned. I feel like I'm a pretty frugal person. Okay, hopefully the AC is not too loud, but it's just getting so hot in here. But I like to think of myself as a pretty frugal person. My makeup bag, also, if you haven't seen it. And one of the things that I learned when I was pretty young, that I don't remember where I heard it from, but if you can't buy something more than 7 times over, then you can't afford it. And I don't know, I feel like my mom did a good job of just teaching us that, like, if you don't have money, don't spend it. And even when I was young, I always worked so many jobs and I really hustled to, you know, earn things that I wanted to buy for myself. And if I didn't have money, I just didn't get myself nice things. And I feel like so many times there are people that care so much about, you know, getting the designer bags and trying to impress people, but couldn't be me. So when I was in high school, I didn't have a lot of money. I remember a big key moment for me was when I was dating Brandon and his grandma asked me to buy a birthday gift for him, and she wanted to get him like a $300 gift certificate at this like golf store that he loved. And I remember I had to charge it to my credit card. I literally didn't have enough money in my bank account to pay for the $300 gift certificate, and I remember just like eagerly waiting for her to pay me back just because I didn't have enough money to like pay off my credit card after that. So I remember struggling for so long that I feel like it just really humbled me. And even now, like, I go to hotels and take the shampoo and conditioner, travel bottles, and I pinch pennies wherever I can. So I just feel like it's always a good mindset to have. I wasn't raised in a family with a whole lot of money, and I feel like a lot of people think that because I can't afford to travel and buy luxury things that I came from a lot of wealth, or that Brandon is a sugar daddy and takes care of me. But in reality, like, we both have our own independent streams of income. I've worked for everything that I have my entire life, and I just feel like that mindset has really taught me to really hustle and be really hardworking, because if I didn't put in the time and work to be successful, like, I just wouldn't ever get by. I wouldn't be able to afford my rent. I wouldn't be able to pay for gas and groceries. And so it's always just like a do or die type mindset. And I feel like that has really benefited me over the years. Okay, hopefully that's a little bit better. It's starting to get a little bit cloudy, but if you guys didn't know, Brandon and I also live at home with his grandma, and we've been living with her now for about 3 years. Like, as soon as we moved to LA from Seattle, we moved in with her. So that is kind of a blessing because obviously we don't have to pay rent or anything like that. And this year we actually started helping her out with paying a little bit of the mortgage. But that is a big blessing for us because that's about like anywhere from like $2,000 to $3,000 a month that we get to save. And him and I have been saving up to buy a house this year, and we're just waiting for the right moment. We've been like kind of casually looking at homes here and there, but we just haven't found anything perfect yet. I started my full-time career as a content creator back in 2019 was when I first went full-time, and Brandon and I moved to LA just a couple months prior to that. And 2020 was my first year where I really started to take off. I signed with management and I started to get a lot of, you know, inquiries and campaigns, and 2021 was my first year where I made 6 figures. And so ever since then, you know, the money has been really constant, and I am really blessed to work a job that is very lucrative, and I have lots of different streams of income, and starting to invest my money as well. So I'm not like super well versed in the investing world, so if you guys have questions there, I can't be that person for you, because I actually mainly rely on like my brother and my mom, who are really into stocks and all that, and Brandon's getting into it as well. But I just feel like being smart about how I choose to spend my money has helped me a lot. Also, as an influencer, I'm really lucky to be sent a lot of PR and packages and gifts, and so I actually don't spend a whole lot of money on like beauty products or clothing like I used to, and so I get to save a lot of money there. I bought my Tesla at the end of 2020. I don't even know what time is anymore, but I got my car at the end of 2020, and I paid half down, and I do little payments on my car. And so I think with all the add-ons and stuff like that, I end up paying I have the Model Y, and I got like the upgraded rims. I think it comes with the long range, but I think everything ended up coming out to about $55,000. So that was like my biggest purchase up until that point. And then at the end of last year, I actually got my mom a Chanel bag for Christmas and wrote her a big check for my college tuition for the 4 years I went to school. It had always been like a big goal of mine to pay it off. And so I had been spending actually pretty frugally, conservatively, if you will, because I knew always that I was saving up to pay my mom back, and that was the first thing that I wanted to do after I made significant income. I didn't even want to like buy a home or anything like that. I just knew I wanted to pay my mom back for college first and foremost. The Tesla was kind of like a fun little side situation, kind of like a treat myself, because it had been such a good year. But yeah, I think it's just so important to be smart with your money. Even now, I guys try to be really intentional with where I want to spend and what I want to prioritize next, especially because now Brandon and I are looking to buy a home. So that is like the next big thing that we want to save for. I bought a couple of bags at the end of last year. I spent a lot in Paris, and so now I'm really like pulling back and being conservative and trying to save a little bit more in anticipation for eventually getting a house with Brandon. And then we also have our wedding to plan. We also want to hire a wedding planner. So all of that is going to be like a big chunk of money that we definitely need to account for as well. So biggest tip that I have for you is to find a way that you can make residual income, and that is money that kind of works for you. I always found little ways to make money. I always worked jobs that tipped, because it's a way that you get to make more money than the hourly wage. One of my favorite jobs was I was a coffee barista. I feel like that job was just really fun. And I also was a server at kind of like a bar restaurant, and I made a good amount of money there as well. So it's just good to find jobs that will pay you really healthily, because that way you can kind of start saving up and building a savings from that. And I do have a really, really old video that I'll link up in the corner where I kind of talked about like my career path, what I did full-time before I moved to LA and became a full-time content creator. I used to be a real estate agent. So if you guys are interested in that, I'll link it up in the corner. But I used to be like a tutor, a babysitter, and you really do have to work hard and find ways to hustle, and then you have to reinvest your money back into yourself. And when I first became a full-time content creator, a lot of the money that I spent, it was actually money that I reinvested back into the business. I was constantly looking at new lenses, new cameras, tripods, eventually getting a nice vlog camera, and I just was constantly thinking of how can I kind of up my game and make myself better. I talk about the influencer journey and how to grow your following and all that stuff as well. If you're interested, I'll link that video in the corner. Almost any video that you guys want me to do, I've probably already done it. If anything, I maybe need to do like an updated version or anything like that. So use my resources, I'll leave them there. I'm really blind, by the way. My prescription is like -7.5 in one eye, -8 in this eye. So if I'm like holding stuff really close, it's because I'm literally that blind. Someone asked, working towards individual goals and goals as a couple. I love this question so much because I feel like it's so important to, as a couple, have similar goals and similar things that you both prioritize. And Brand and I have always talked about getting married, obviously getting a home together and having a family. And I feel like him and I are pretty smart spenders, and we do like nice things here and there, but I feel like our mantra is really fewer, better things. And so the few things that we do buy are super high quality, will last us forever, versus buying so many little things that aren't as big of price points, but are things that you are constantly replacing. So I feel like him and I have always been, we like luxury goods and we buy fewer of them, but they'll last us a lifetime. So he also has his own individual streams of income, as do I. And so I think that really helps us, and we kind of keep everything separate. But obviously we have times where, like, if we're getting groceries, we'll take turns buying it. If we go out to dinner, we'll take turns paying for dinner. And when we go on big trips, I make a little bit more money than Brandon does, so from time to time I'll pay for dinner, I'll pay for the plane tickets and the hotels, but he'll grab the dinners when we're out. So it really is kind of a balanced situation, which is really nice. And Brandon also helps me from time to time with some of my admin stuff and YouTube stuff as well. So someone asked, shopping on a budget. This is a great question. I love thrifting. I've always loved thrifting. I feel like so many people found me back in the day because I used to go thrifting in Seattle all the time. And I feel like that really is the biggest hack to saving money when you love to shop, because trends come and go all the time. They're constantly cycling. If you have a vision in mind and you know what you're looking for when you go thrifting, you can find a lot of really great pieces and save a lot of money. So even to this day, I like thrifting because I like the aspect of like finding pieces that no one else really had. My camera died. Oh yeah, we were talking about thrifting. You guys know I talk about it here and there, but I don't support fast fashion. I think it's very wasteful, and I think it is so much better to buy a couple of things that you really value that you'll keep forever. Like for me, I could never give up Aritzia and some of my favorite stores, and I think me buying a jacket and wearing it for life is a sustainable option. And I also choose to thrift and buy things like that. I also just started a membership with Rent the Runway, so that's a great way to rent out kind of event pieces and dresses, things that are a little bit trendier without having to like just buy cheap things and throw them away when I'm done. I just think there are more sustainable options, and especially if you are on a budget and you want to shop but not spend a whole lot, there are definitely options out there for you. I love Poshmark. I sell my clothes on Depop. That's another great way to find and buy clothes. Also trade things with your friends. Me and my sister trade clothes and borrow each other's things all the time. Whenever I go on trips with my friends, we borrow each other's shoes and jackets. And I feel like as long as you're respectful of other people's belongings and you treat it like nice things that are your own, there's lots of options out there for you. Okay, a lot of people ask me about how to avoid burnout. I feel like I've always been a person that loves working. I thrive off of staying busy, and I feel like whenever I have weeks where I don't have a lot to do, I feel like my life is almost like wasting away. I don't know. So I feel like that mentality has stayed with me forever. And like even when I go on like tropical vacations with my family, after a couple of days I'm like almost antsy because I feel like I need to be doing something and working. But there are obviously times where I feel like I just am overstimulated, I'm doing too much, and I just need some time to do nothing and be a potato. And earlier this year I actually got COVID right after Christmas time, and it was the biggest blessing in disguise because I was in bedridden for a full week. Didn't go out to see anyone, I didn't do any work, I didn't post or anything like that. And I feel like sometimes, especially if you do social media, it's so good to get offline and take a step back and have other hobbies that fulfill you, that are in real life, that involve you, like going outside. And Brand and I love playing tennis, I love roller skating, I love spending time with my girlfriends and going out and trying new restaurants, food places. Anything that involves me being off of my phone and off social media, I feel like is a great way to kind of recharge my battery. A lot of the times too, I feel like going outside for walks and even grabbing a coffee in the morning and doing things that are a little bit different from your everyday routine can be great ways to recharge yourself and kind of make every day not feel so monotonous. I also have gotten into working out and jump roping. You guys know I love jump roping, and that has helped me a lot with just mental clarity. It's definitely good to prioritize your body and your health and your mental health, because at the end of the day, like, you need to show up for yourself too. Even I struggle with this. Is I try to force myself to stop working by like 7 p.m. Just find ways to have that balance in life. And let's see, another thing for me, how to stay motivated. I used to listen to a lot of Gary Vee podcasts. One of the biggest things that Gary Vee talks about is to move out of your parents' house, and it really changed my life when I moved out of my parents' house, because it teaches you to be financially independent. So when I moved out of my parents' house, I had to pick up another job to be able to afford rent and all the things that came with renting a house, you know, utilities and all of that stuff. Gary Vee also talked about sometimes it's best to ask for forgiveness rather than permission. And I feel like, especially growing up in an Asian household with traditional Vietnamese parents, you're constantly worried about like what your parents think, what they're gonna do, how mad they're gonna get if you do certain things. And trust me, when I graduated college and told my mom that I wanted to move to LA and pursue a career as an influencer, she thought I was crazy. But I didn't ask for her permission. You know, like, I kind of was just, this is what I want to do. You can choose to support me or not. And I feel like your parents love you and they always just want what's best for you, and sometimes they don't know how to best communicate that in a way that feels supportive. So you sometimes just have to understand that your parents just want what's best for you, and at the end of the day, they'll always come to support you. Okay, I need to get my makeup in order. Also, for those of you that have been feeling like unmotivated and it's hard to stay focused and stuff like that, I feel you, and it's okay to take days off and sleep in until 1 p.m. and not make plans with anyone for a while, because I feel like everyone is kind of going through that, and sometimes you have to take time for yourself. But I just know whenever I'm feeling like that, it really helps me to get off social media, stop mindlessly scrolling on TikTok and Instagram, because if you think about it, that really is not resetting your social battery. It really is just kind of mindless activities that you need to give your mind and body like a full and complete break. And I feel like for me, my happy space is working out. I feel like it's healthy to develop hobbies and stuff like that that really help to get your mind off things. And someone said how to deal with toxic friends and family. I have a Chatty video that I actually did, I think probably a year ago, where I talked about like toxic family. If you have like parents that don't support you, if you want to change your major career path or whatnot, I have a Chatty video talking all about that. But I will talk about curating a friend circle, because I feel like that is another hot topic, especially if you are moving out of state. Like when I moved to LA, it was really hard for me to find a good friend circle and to find, you know, like a good group of wholesome friends. Especially for me, I like really value down-to-earth people. When I first moved to LA, it was really difficult to find a good friend circle, because I just feel like, I hate saying it, but I feel like so many of the influencers / people that live in LA are just really superficial, and it took me a while to build a good group of friends. It's so hard to make friends as an adult, and I actually started boxing, and like I'll just talk to people and meet people at coffee shops, and a lot of my friends are actually people that I had met from Instagram, that we had been following each other. Yeah, I just feel like nowadays social media is a great way to meet friends. If there's someone that you really vibe with, you know, like DM them, go out of your way to hang out with them. And Ginny is actually one of my closest friends and one of my first friends in LA, and we met through Instagram as well. So, but I think also what comes with making friends as an adult is you have to like set expectations early on, and I feel like I've always valued people that are really loyal and honest. And a lot of the falling out with ex-friends that I have, it was because they were not honest with me. They were two-faced, would talk smack about me behind my back, and I just feel like that's just a toxic friend circle that you don't want to be a part of. And I feel like from day one, I make it clear, you know, like the type of friendship that I'm looking for and the type of person that I am. And, you know, I kind of want that like mutual respect. It's very important to also have tough conversations with your friends. If there are things that your friends are doing that bother you, have that conversation with them, and also open it up to them as well. Like a lot of the times I tell my friends, like, if there's anything that I'm doing that bother them that they don't like, let me know and I'll do the same. And I just think it's so good to kind of have a more two-way street conversational and just communicate with each other. Curating a friend circle is time consuming. It takes a lot of effort, especially like meeting new people and going out to lunch with new people is taxing. I feel like that's one of the things about making friends as an adult is you constantly have to put yourself out there and have to like date with your friends and then build a circle and slowly introduce your friends to one another, and from there you can kind of build a circle that makes you feel supported. And it's now been almost 4 years, 3 years or 4 years, I don't even know anymore, but it's been so long that Brand and I have been living here, and I feel like now we finally have a solid circle of friends where everyone is super down to earth and supportive. Okay, so my camera keeps dying on me. It's like overheating in the sun, but I think the last topic that I want to close out with is cons about being an influencer in the influencer circle. How's it finding friends and making new ones? I feel like I can't speak for all influencers, but especially all the ones that I've met in LA, I feel like it is really hard to find people with similar interests to me, and I feel like that's why it took me so long to make friends in LA, is because I feel like so many of the people I've met, we don't click, and a couple of girls I've met have been really nice, but we just don't vibe like that. And I feel like there doesn't need to be drama around that. Like, you either vibe with people or you don't. And I think it's beneficial to be selective with your friends from the beginning, because yes, moving to a new city, a new town is intimidating, especially if you don't have any friends to begin with. But I would much rather be by myself in a new city for a long amount of time and make a couple of friends along the way than have a big circle of so many people that I don't really know that well. I think it's good to be really selective with the people that you choose to hang out with, whether it's like a significant other or in the dating life, or even like girlfriends that you're trying to meet in a new city. It's good to set that expectations, have standards for what you look for in a friend and what type of behavior you will allow and what type of behavior you won't allow. And I think it's good to make that distinction from the beginning. Eventually you'll find a circle of friends that become like your core, you know? So anyways, it is around 5:30 now. It's only been an hour, but I need to change. Maybe I'll show you guys some of the outfits that I brought and what I'm gonna wear later today. I also have to pee and re-park my car, so I don't know what the parking situation is gonna be like, but I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you like some of the topics that we talked about. I feel like it was kind of hard for me to multitask with talking about so much, but also trying to get ready in time. So if you guys want me to do another version and talk about more topics, dive deeper into some of the things that we covered today, let me know. Make sure you give this video a big thumbs up if you want to see more videos like this, and I'll go ahead and leave timestamps for everything down below if you ever want to revisit, come back, whatnot. If you missed it, I got tattoos a couple of days ago, but this is I get to take off these little protective layers today, and I'll probably go home and do a little TikTok situation, because you can see like some of the ink has bled a little bit, but I think once you take off the plastic you'll be able to see that too. So I'm excited. I hope they're not like scabbing too bad. I think I need to moisturize and all that, and I think this one too is like, I'm excited to see how it looks. The event that I'm going to tonight is actually with Katy Perry. She has a new brand that she's launching, and I think it's like a non-alcoholic drink. So that would be cool if Katy Perry's gonna be there. Where it's at Republic, which is like a cute little French restaurant, and some outfit options that I brought. It's 74 degrees out, so it's pretty nice out. So I think I'm gonna wear a little mini skirt situation. So I have this one from Drift Avenue that I will wear, a little gray skirt. I'm gonna keep my black crop top on because I feel like this is just a good night out top, and I didn't really bring a bra or anything like that, so I'm just gonna keep this on to be simple. I also have little black booties that I'm gonna wear as well because these are gonna be comfortable, and then I have a black blazer to kind of tie in the black booties with some of the colors that I'm wearing. And then I have my Dior saddlebag. So that is a little outfit. I'm gonna go find a bathroom somehow, and I think I'm just gonna go into the event with my glasses because my LASIK is in a couple of days, and I've been so good about wearing my glasses that might as well keep them on, you know? So anyways, love you guys. I hope you enjoyed. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.